Men and women fighting in Iraq and Afghanistan are coming home with wounds that aren't always easy to see.
41 Action News anchor Lindsay Shively explains why one Kansas City soldier now believes his injuries are worthy of one of the military's highest honors.
4 years ago, Sergeant Keith Riggins searched the roads of Afghanistan for bombs.
1 second you're driving, 1 second you're hurting.
He believes his concussion from an IED's blast could qualify him for a Purple Heart that he never received.
Not for the recognition. Of course not, no.
Additional benefits of a Purple Heart vary by state, but the Department of Veterans Affairs says Purple Heart recipients are put in a high priority group and don't have to pay co-pays for VA medical care.
I feel like I deserve it.
Riggins first told us his story when we traveled to Afghanistan last fall. During a deployment in 2011, he found 16 IEDs. 3 found him.
This one was way worse. Way worse.
At night in the desert, Riggins' Husky hit an 80-pound bomb.
I clipped the side of a pressure plate with my back right tire. I picked my back end up, and it almost turned me around almost 180 degrees. But whenever I got hit, my radio came down and hit me in the face.
A radio that is propelled by way of an explosive impact is going to have a significant velocity, and I would concur that would probably be very severe.
Dr. Michael Moncure heads the Center for Concussion Management. He understands why the Army says concussions caused by enemy explosions clearly justify award of the Purple Heart.
You suffer significant trauma.
Many commanders felt that unless you spilled blood, that you weren't entitled to the Purple Heart.
But in 2011, the same year of Riggins' blast, the Army clarified how to award the Purple Heart for concussions. It outlined how to consistently diagnose and treat those soldiers.
This has truly been the signature wound of this war.
I was concussed. I was knocked out for a brief time, and I was cut open.
Riggins says his unit's medic examined him after the blast and told him he had a concussion. But a sandstorm trapped his unit and canceled his evacuation to a medical officer for treatment. The next day, Riggins felt well enough to get back to duty, but can't remember if he got an official diagnosis. The Purple Heart requires documented diagnosis and treatment by a medical officer or medical professional, not a combat medic alone.
TBI, which is mild traumatic brain injury.
He read us his military medical records. They show he visited a traumatic brain injury screening program months later back in the U.S., and they document his account of his concussion. But now Riggins wonders if he didn't see a medical officer in Afghanistan, is that why he didn't get the Purple Heart?
You must be treated by a competent medical authority for the concussion.
A lot of people, they get it for more serious reasons, and I don't ever want to take it away from them. You know, for getting it, you know, by losing a limb or losing their life, you know, by getting a Purple Heart.
Before, the paperwork overwhelmed him. Now, Riggins is ready.
You know, I at least want to try.
Lindsay Shively, 41 Action News.